Hi everyone, it's Steelbook Steve. Going to do a Steelbook review on the Expendables 2. This particular Steelbook release is by Filmarena. This is Filmarena number 60, and the actual numeration here is 354 of 500. So only 500 of these were produced, and this is number 354. So here we see Expendables Part 2. Now we've got the iconic images of Schwarzenegger and Stallone on screen really for the first time. Well, on a poster for the first time, I should say. They did share the screen in Expendables Part 1. So again, if you grew up in the 80s, this is the one dream that you had of these two icons teaming up, and we finally got it. So there's the back of it, Expendables 2, and it's 354 of 500. So this, again, is by Filmarena, and if you heard the Part 1 review, you know what I did with these steelbooks. I actually switched out the original steelbook here, which I think Filmarena did something kind of odd, where they gave us Part 1 and Part 2 in two different versions, where I think what they should have done is they should have had a Part 1 for one release and a Part 2 for another release, which is kind of what the cover alludes to, Expendables 2, instead of including Parts 1 and 2 over again. So what I did was I created my own type of steelbook with the Play.com version of it. So you're going to see once I remove the three-part lenticular cover what that looks like. So look at that lenticular cover. Amazing. Chuck Norris is even on there. So how awesome is that? These three icons right here. Chuck Norris, Stallone, and Schwarzenegger in this 3D lenticular cover, which is really, really cool, I think. So we peel this one back here, and then what do we get? Like I said, I switched it out for the actually, I said UK, sorry. This is the German Splendid release, actually. The German Splendid release. And the reason for that is because it keeps in theme with the Part 1. If you guys saw the Part 1, it was very similar to this. So, again, the skull, I think, is kind of cool, very iconic. So I decided to keep the German version of it. So, interior, I just kept all the Filmarena stuff. But I'll show you what that looks like. And I do have some custom interior art on this particular release. So there it is. There's the skull that we're seeing there. And there's that iconic image of that tattooed skull and crow. So again, this is Expendables 2. And what we have here will be the Splendid release of this version. And then we also have the DVD version of this film. So the special features here are basically uniform throughout all different releases. So again, you can have whatever version you'll see, you'll have all the special features. Let's take a look at the goodies now. So with the Expendables 2, there are some definite goodies to take a look at. These art cards were not part of the release, but I found them in another release and decided to keep them. We saw them in the other release of Expendables 1. Here's the booklet. Again, the Filmarena release alludes to this just being Part 2. So I think there was a kind of maybe a hiccup there in terms of how they actually packaged the release. Look at that iconic image of Chuck Norris there. Awesome. You get all the characters. There's Stallone. There's Terry Crews. Oh, I didn't mention Jet Li. So I was like, there's, I didn't say it, Jet Li. There he is right there, Jet Li, awesome. As Ying Yang, I was trying to remember his name. Dolph Lundgren, He-Man himself, the Punisher, the original Punisher. There's Jason Statham from all his action films. Van Damme is the villain in this film, so if you haven't seen Expendables and if you're a Van Damme fan, it's amazing to see Stallone go up against Van Damme later on in the film. That's really, really cool to see, because I was a big fan of Van Damme, even though he was never as big of an action icon in terms of film quality versus Stallone and Schwarzenegger. Nonetheless, I think he was a force to be reckoned with. That's a cool image right there. There is Van Damme. There he is. Amazing. Great performance as a villain, by the way, which he does not usually play. So kind of cool to see that there. So this was a great film because of that. Van Damme really, I think, elevated the film. Believe it or not. Yeah, and that's why I purchased it, because it's really cool. This one right here, awesome 80s looking poster of just non-stop action all over the place. Really, really cool image there. There's the entire crew. that's kind of a cool image to see. I mean, you're seeing all the heroes there. Look at that. I mean, for me, it was about Stallone, sorry, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Norris, and Van Damme. You had Lundgren, Willis, Statham. I mean, Jet Li. Even though some of the roles are a little bit small, it's just kind of hard to manage all these individuals. There's that other image of them. So there's like a zoomed out version. Here's another Type B poster. There's a Type C. So very cool images. Amazing iconic images there. And then as we saw with the Part 1 release, we're going to have some posters and art cards here. So let's take out these art cards here. It's just one poster, so I'm just going to show it to you here. There's an image of all of those key players. And then we've got the art cards themselves. So the mini little posters, the mini cards. So these are the Expendables 2. Now we're talking, right? Look at these guys. Great images to see. So amazing there. And then here's some more. Look at that Van Damme right there. I just saw an episode of Friends not too long ago where he was actually in there back in the day. It was kind of funny to see him in that episode of Friends. There's Van Damme. There's Willis, Norris. Look at that. That's amazing. And then you have the new people. Scott Adkins, I think, was there. Nice. So, great looking... I mean, great release. If you're looking for a definitive edition, it's definitely going to be the Filmarena version. Even though there have been other releases worldwide, Filmarena does an amazing job once again with its release. That's it for Steelbook Steve. Thank you.